Stop what you are doing right now. Before this video ends, I am going to show you something that will completely change the way you think about speaking English. Not a grammar tip, not a vocabulary list, not another lesson that you watch, enjoy, and forget. Something real, something physical, something that most English teachers have never told you, because most English teachers do not know it themselves. Let me ask you one honest question. How many hours have you spent studying English? Add it up. The classes, the apps, the videos, the podcasts, the books, months, years, maybe more. Now tell me. When you open your mouth to speak English in a real situation, a meeting, a conversation with a foreigner, a phone call, what happens? Your mind goes blank. Your voice shakes. The words are there somewhere, but they will not come out. You know the sentence. You have heard it 100 times, but your mouth will not produce it. And you ask yourself the same question you have asked 1,000 times. Why? Why do I understand everything but cannot speak? Today I am going to answer that question. And the answer is going to surprise you. It is not your grammar. It is not your vocabulary. It is not your confidence. It is not your intelligence. It is your mouth. Your mouth has never been trained to speak English. And until that changes, nothing else will. Stay with me until the very end of this video, because what you are about to learn is the system that changes everything. And if you want more training like this every week, subscribe to this channel right now. Let's begin. Part 1. The truth nobody told you. Let me say something that might feel uncomfortable at first, but will set you completely free. You have been training the wrong part of your body. Every English lesson you have ever taken trained your brain. Grammar rules, vocabulary lists, reading comprehension, listening exercises, all of it designed for your brain to process, store, and understand English. But speaking is not a brain activity. Speaking is a physical activity. Speaking is your lips shaping sounds, your tongue hitting the roof of your mouth, your jaw opening and closing, your breath pushing air through your throat at precisely the right moment, your vocal cords vibrating with the correct tension to produce the sound you need. Speaking English is a physical skill, and physical skills require physical training. Think about this for a moment. Imagine someone who wants to become a pianist. They read every book about music theory. They study sheet music for hours every day. They can identify every note, every chord, every key signature on the page. Their music knowledge is extraordinary, but they have never touched a piano. Will they be able to play? No, not because they lack knowledge, because their fingers have never moved across the keys. Their muscles have never learned the physical patterns of playing. Their hands have no memory of what fluent piano playing feels like. That is exactly your situation with English speaking. You have the knowledge, you have the understanding, but your mouth has no muscle memory. Your lips have never practiced the shapes that English sounds require. Your tongue has never trained the speed and position changes that English-connected speech demands. Your jaw has never developed the flexibility for English vowel sounds. Your breath has never learned the rhythm of English intonation. And without that physical training, your brain knowledge cannot come out of your mouth. In your native language, this is not a problem. You have been physically practicing those sounds since before you could walk. Thousands of hours of repetition, every day from infancy. Your mouth muscles are perfectly trained for your native language. Every sound comes out automatically, without thought, without effort. But for English, you have almost no physical training. You have years of mental training and almost no physical training. And that is why you freeze. Your brain finds the word, but your mouth does not know how to produce it quickly enough. Your brain constructs the sentence, but your lips and tongue are not fast enough to deliver it. There is a gap between what you know and what your body can do, and that gap is where fluency lives. But here is the most important thing I want you to hear right now. This is not a permanent condition. It is a training gap, and training gaps can be closed. Your mouth can learn. Your muscles can develop. Your physical English can be built, just like any other physical skill, through the right kind of daily practice. And you do not need hours. You do not need a teacher. You do not need a special accent or special equipment. You need 5 minutes a day. The right 5 minutes, done the right way, every single day. That is what this video is going to give you. Part 2. The 5-minute mouth training system. I am going to give you a complete daily training system right now. 5 minutes, 4 steps, every day. But before I do, I need to say something important. 5 minutes sounds small. You might be tempted to think it is not enough. You might want to do more, go longer, add more exercises. Resist that impulse. The goal of this system is not to give you the most practice in a single session. The goal is to build a habit that your brain accepts completely, a habit so small and manageable that you will do it every single day without negotiation, without excuses, without skipping. Because 100 days of 5 minutes is enormously more powerful than 100 sessions of 30 minutes that keep getting postponed. Consistency creates fluency, not intensity. Here is the system. Step 1. Mouth warm-up. 1 minute. Before you speak a single word of English, you need to physically prepare your mouth. This is exactly like warming up before exercise. You would never attempt a sprint without warming up your legs. Your mouth deserves the same preparation. The warm-up has 4 movements. First, lip buzzing. Press your lips together and let them vibrate softly like a very gentle motor sound. Do this for 5 seconds. Pause. Repeat 3 times. This activates the muscles around your mouth and softens tension that builds up from speaking your native language all day. Second, tongue stretch. Push your tongue slowly out of your mouth as far as it will comfortably go. Hold for 2 seconds, then pull it slowly back in. Repeat this 10 times. This exercise directly trains the tongue muscles that produce the sounds English requires, sounds that your native language may not use in the same way. Third, jaw loosening. Open your mouth as wide as is comfortable. Pause for 2 seconds, then close it gently. Repeat 5 times. English vowel sounds require a range of jaw positions that many learners are not accustomed to. This exercise builds that flexibility. Fourth, smile stretch. Pull the corners of your mouth into the widest smile you can. Hold for 5 seconds. Relax completely. Repeat twice. This activates the muscles that shape your mouth for English sounds at the front of the mouth. Sounds like the long E sound and the short I sound. 1 minute total. 4 movements. Every single day. Before anything else. Step 2. Mirror speaking. 1 minute. This step transforms everything. And it is the one most people skip. Do not skip it. Stand or sit directly in front of a mirror. Look at your own eyes. Not at your mouth. Not at your hair, into your own eyes. Choose one sentence, any sentence in English. Here are some examples you can use. Today I am training my English. My voice is getting stronger every day. I speak English with confidence. I am building something real. Say the sentence slowly. Watch your mouth as you speak. Notice what your lips are doing. Notice how your jaw is moving. Notice where your tongue is. Say the sentence 5 times. With each repetition, feel slightly more comfortable. Allow your voice to become slightly more natural. This exercise does 3 things that nothing else does. It builds physical self-awareness. You cannot improve what you cannot observe. Watching yourself speak gives you information about how your mouth is moving that you simply cannot get any other way. It removes the fear of your own voice. Most people who struggle to speak English have never looked at themselves speaking. They have never heard their voice without shame. The mirror removes that distance. Your voice becomes familiar. Your face becomes familiar. And familiar things are not frightening. And it builds presence. The ability to speak and maintain eye contact, even with yourself, is a skill that transfers directly to real conversations. 1 minute, 1 sentence, 5 repetitions, every day. Step 3. Shadow speaking. 2 minutes. This is the most powerful single technique in this entire system. 2 minutes of this, done daily, will transform your spoken English faster than anything else you have ever tried. Shadow speaking means listening to a short piece of natural English, 5 to 15 seconds, and then immediately repeating it out loud. Not translating it, not analyzing it, reproducing it, matching the rhythm, the speed, the rise and fall of the voice, the exact sounds as closely as you possibly can. Here is how to do it. Find a short audio clip, a YouTube video, a movie scene, a TED Talk excerpt, a podcast moment, something with natural conversational English spoken at a real pace. Listen to 5 to 10 seconds of it. Then pause and immediately speak what you just heard, trying to match the original as closely as possible. Not your version of the sentence, not slower than the original, not with your usual accent imposed onto the sounds. The original, as close as you can get. Play it again. Shadow again. 3 to 4 repetitions of the same clip. Then move to a new clip. Why does this work? Because shadow speaking trains your mouth and your brain simultaneously. Your ears hear the target sounds, your brain processes them, and your mouth attempts to physically reproduce them, in real time, at natural speed. This creates the physical muscle memory that years of passive listening never builds. You are not just hearing what English sounds like. You are training your mouth to produce it. It will feel difficult at first. Your mouth will not keep up with the speed. Some sounds will come out wrong. The rhythm will feel unnatural. That is exactly correct. That difficulty is the training. That struggle is your mouth learning. After 7 days, it gets easier. After 14 days, the gap between the original and your version starts to close. After 30 days, people who know you will notice a change in how you sound. 2 minutes, every day, non-negotiable. Step 4, fluency loop. 1 minute. Choose one sentence. Use it for the entire minute. Repeat it 3 ways. First, slow. Say the sentence as slowly as you need to produce every sound correctly and clearly. Focus on precision. Focus on the physical movement of each sound. Second, normal. Say the sentence at natural conversational speed. Smooth, connected, no pauses between words. Third, fast. Push yourself to say the sentence as quickly as you can while keeping it intelligible. This is speed training for your mouth. 3 cycles, 3 speeds, 1 sentence, 1 minute. After 3 days with the same sentence, change to a new one. Why this works? Your brain considers a movement truly automatic only when it can be performed at high speed without conscious thought. The speed practice, the fast repetition, is what pushes speaking from conscious effort to automatic production. That is where fluency lives. Total system, warm-up, 1 minute. Mirror speaking, 1 minute. Shadow speaking, 2 minutes. Fluency loop, 1 minute, 5 minutes, every day. Do not do it sometimes. Do not do it when you feel motivated. Do it every day, morning, evening, whenever. 5 minutes, always. Part 3. The music of English. Sound, clusters, and flow. Now I want to teach you something that will immediately change how you sound to native speakers. Most English learners speak like they are reading a list of words. One word, pause, next word, pause, next word. Each word separated, clear, complete. And native speakers listen to this and think, that sounds like a beginner. Not because the grammar is wrong, not because the vocabulary is limited, but because real English does not work that way. Real English, the English that native speakers use in actual conversations, does not happen word by word. It happens in groups, clusters, units of sound that flow together without separation, like water, like music. When a native speaker says, "What are you doing?" they do not say 4 separate words. They say one connected sound that sounds like, "What are you doing?" When they say, "I don't know," it sounds like, "I don't know." When they say "going to," it sounds like "gonna." When they say "want to," it sounds like "wanna." This is not sloppy English. This is real English. This is how the language actually sounds when people are being natural and comfortable. And until you learn to hear these clusters and then to produce them, Your English will always have a slightly artificial textbook quality that marks you as someone who learned English from books rather than from real life. Let me give you 5 of the most common English sound clusters that you need to train your mouth to produce naturally. The first is gonna. This is the spoken form of going to when it appears before a verb. In natural speech, no one says going to unless they are being very formal or very emphatic. They say gonna. I'm gonna call you later. She's gonna be there. We're gonna talk about this. The second is wanna. This is the spoken form of want to. I wanna learn this. Do you wanna come? She doesn't want to talk about it. The third is gotta. This is the spoken form of have got to or have to in informal English. I gotta go. You gotta see this. He's gotta be there by 8. The fourth is dunno. This is the spoken form of don't know. I don't know, maybe. Dunno what to say. She just dunno yet. The fifth is lemme. This is the spoken form of let me. Let me think about it. Let me check. Let me know. Now, 3 important things about these clusters. First, you do not need to use them all the time. Formal situations, written English, presentations, use full forms. But in conversation, in informal speech, in natural dialogue, these clusters make you sound completely different. They make you sound real. Second, you need to train your mouth to produce them, not just recognize them. You can understand gonna perfectly without being able to say it smoothly. Physical training is required. Third, the method for training them is the fluency loop from part 2. Take each cluster. Put it in a sentence, slow, normal, fast, 3 days, then move to the next. Here is how this changes how people perceive your English. When you speak in connected natural clusters, people stop hearing your accent as the dominant feature of your speech. The rhythm and flow take over. And when the rhythm sounds right, when the flow sounds natural, native speakers automatically upgrade their assessment of your fluency, even if individual sounds are still slightly imperfect. Sound clusters are not a shortcut to fluency. They are a direct path to it. Part 4. Train your brain and mouth together. Everything we have discussed so far has been about the physical side of speaking, the muscles, the sounds, the rhythm, the flow. But there is a second obstacle that physical training alone cannot solve, and if you ignore it, your physical training will only take you halfway. The obstacle is what happens in your mind when you try to speak. You have experienced this. Your mouth is prepared. You have been practicing. You know the words. But there is a voice inside your head that speaks at the exact moment you try to produce English. And that voice says things like, what if I say it wrong? What if they do not understand me? What if I sound ridiculous? What if they realize my English is not as good as they think? And the moment that voice speaks, your mouth stops. This is not weakness. This is not a character flaw. It is a brain pattern. And brain patterns can be changed with the right kind of practice. Here is the most important thing you can understand about this pattern. Your brain produces that voice of doubt because it is trying to protect you from social judgment. Your brain reads the act of speaking English in front of others as a social risk, and it interrupts you to prevent you from taking that risk. The way to override this is not to argue with your brain. You cannot think your way out of this pattern. You have to practice your way out of it. The practice that works is what I call emotion-first speaking. Instead of preparing a sentence and then trying to say it correctly, you start with the emotion. You decide how you feel. You connect with the feeling first, and then you let the English come from that feeling. Here is how it works. Take a simple sentence. For example, I am proud of how far I have come. Do not just say it. Feel it first. Think about something in your life that you are genuinely proud of. Hold that feeling for a moment, and then say the sentence. Not as an exercise, but as an expression of that real feeling. The difference is remarkable. When you speak from feeling, your brain is focused on the emotion, not on the monitoring. The internal critic goes quiet, not because you defeated it, but because you redirected your attention. And when the critic is quiet, the words come out more naturally, more fluidly, more confidently. Practice this with sentences that have personal meaning to you. Sentences about your life, your goals, your experiences. The more personally meaningful the sentence, the more easily the emotion-first technique works. And combine this with the mirror practice from part 2. Look at yourself. Feel the emotion. Speak the sentence. Watch your face as you do it. The combination of emotional engagement and visual self-awareness creates a speaking state that is remarkably close to what real conversation feels like. This is brain and mouth training working together, and together, they are unstoppable. Part 5. The Smart Repetition System. There is one final piece that brings everything together, and most people get this completely wrong. Repetition. Everyone knows that repetition is essential for language learning, but almost nobody repeats in a way that actually builds fluency. They repeat the same way, at the same speed, with the same energy over and over, and their brain becomes bored. Their mouth does not improve. Their fluency does not grow. Real repetition is not saying the same thing again. Real repetition is saying the same thing better each time. Here is the system. Choose one sentence. Use it for 5 complete repetitions. But each repetition is different. Repetition 1, clarity. Say the sentence slowly. Focus on every individual sound. Shape each word carefully and completely. This is like lifting a weight with perfect form. Slow, precise, deliberate. Repetition 2, flow. Say the sentence at natural speed. Do not break it into individual words. Let the sounds connect. Speak it as one continuous unit. This is the conversational version, what you would say if you were not thinking about it at all. Repetition 3, emotion 1. Say the sentence as if you are happy and excited about it. Let your voice rise. Let your energy carry the words. Speaking with positive emotion loosens your voice and increases your natural fluency. Repetition 4, emotion 2. Say the sentence with a completely different emotion. Serious, determined, calm, and strong. Notice how the same words sound completely different when the emotional energy changes. Repetition 5, speed challenge. Say the sentence as fast as you possibly can while still being understood. Push your limit. Challenge your tongue. This is the sprint training for your mouth, teaching it to operate at native speaker speed. 5 repetitions, 5 layers. One sentence becomes completely yours. After 3 days of working with one sentence, it will feel automatic, natural, effortless. That is the signal that it has moved from your conscious mind into your muscle memory. At that point, change to a new sentence. This is not memorization. This is not vocabulary building. This is physical ownership of language. The sentence becomes something your body knows how to produce, not something your brain has to calculate. And when enough sentences reach this level of physical ownership, something extraordinary happens. You stop constructing English. You start speaking it. Part 6. The final truth. I want to stop and talk to you directly now, not as a teacher, as someone who understands exactly what you are going through. You are not bad at English. I need you to hear that clearly. You are not bad at English. You have never been bad at English. You have been trained incorrectly. You have been given knowledge without physical practice. You have been filling your mind while leaving your mouth completely untrained. And the result is the most painful thing a learner experiences. Understanding everything and being able to say almost nothing. But that ends today, because now you have the system. You have the 5-minute daily training that actually trains your mouth, not just your mind. You have the sound clusters that will transform your rhythm and flow. You have the emotion-first technique that silences the voice of doubt. You have the smart repetition system that builds genuine physical fluency. Everything you need is in this video. The only question is whether you will use it. Let me describe two people. The first person watches this video, feels inspired, makes a note to start the training tomorrow, and 2 weeks later is watching another English video, making another note to start training tomorrow. Their English stays exactly where it is. The second person watches this video, opens a mirror tonight, does the 5-minute system once, and then again tomorrow morning, and again the day after. By day 7, they feel different. By day 14, they sound different. By day 30, the people around them notice. The difference between these two people is not intelligence. It is not natural talent. It is not the quality of the method they use. It is whether they begin tonight. The training you just learned works. There is no doubt about that. The question is whether you will do it. Tonight, before you sleep. 5 minutes, a mirror, your voice, your mouth, the language that is waiting to come out of you. You have spent enough time being silent. You have spent enough time saying, I understand English, but I cannot speak it. You have spent enough time watching other people express themselves in English while you stayed quiet. That version of you ends today, because tonight you train. Tomorrow you train again. The day after, the same. And every day your mouth gets a little more confident, a little faster, a little more natural. And one day, not that far from now, someone will hear you speak English and they will say, "Your English is really good? How did you do it?" And you will know the answer. You trained your mouth. Every day, 5 minutes. When nobody was watching. When you were tired. When it felt awkward. You showed up and you trained. That is how fluency is built. Not in classrooms, not in grammar books, not in vocabulary apps. In the quiet moments when you stand in front of a mirror and make your mouth do what it has never done before. So right now, before this video ends, say this out loud. Say it with your real voice. I will train my mouth every day. I will speak even when it feels wrong. I will keep going even when progress is slow, because this voice is mine, this language is mine, and I am done being silent. That is the beginning, and it starts right now. Subscribe to this channel for more training that actually moves your mouth and changes your English. Share this video with one person who needs to hear this today. And leave a comment below saying, I will train my mouth every day, no matter what. Say it, write it, mean it. Because the most fluent version of you is not somewhere in the future. It is 5 minutes away.